Good morning, guys. And today we are talking about feelings. And so today I was thinking about people on the internet and how they try to hurt your feelings when they say negative stuff to you, when they try to put you down, the haters, the people. And I've seen so many things about people saying, oh, just ignore them, or even something along the lines of like, who are they? A hater's never going to be doing better than you. So why do you even care? But I'm a sensitive. So, okay, everything hurts my feelings. I've talked about this before, that like, I am somebody who you cannot say anything to because I like cry at everything. But, but, this is a big old but. I will take that pain and I will use it to fuel my next move. Okay? I do not let my pain stop me, paralyze me, keep me from moving forward. And I used to be one of those people that like, yeah, you would say something to me and I'd be like, what's the point? I quit. The end. The world is rejecting me. Like, that's not for me because everybody doesn't love me in that arena. But what I have learned is that no matter where you go, no matter who you talk to, no matter what you try to do in your life, there's always going to be people who talk trash. There's always going to be people who try to bring you down, who, they do a little backhanded compliments. The one that I get all the time is, oh, but I don't want to have too much muscle like you. Like, what? You're already saying that you don't like the way that I look. Like, that's just rude. You know what I mean? But, and I found out like that happens no matter what you do, where you are, who you're with. There's always going to be people who say things in a negative way. And sometimes they don't mean to, they just do it. Some people outright mean it and want to be mean. Some people are, sneaky with it. So how do you navigate that? How do you deal with it? Well, the first is you got to figure out who you are. First is you got to be standing firm in who you are and what you want. Me, I want to be a bodybuilder. I want to be a good parent. I want to be a good wife. I want to be an engineer. I want to own a home. I want this. I want that. Like, I know who I am and my actions need to align with that. First and foremost, okay? That is who I am. Second, I am somebody who is sensitive, okay? I get it. Constructive criticism, I welcome it, but I will say I will probably cry. I will probably have my feelings hurt. And I understand this about myself. And I still put myself in situations that require I get that feedback because, thirdly, I want to grow. I want to be better tomorrow than I was yesterday. That's who I am. I want to be better. So I have to go through that pain. I have to go through the crying and the self-doubt and all this because that's only temporary. That feeling is only temporary. When I feel all my feelings and say, oh my God, I can't, feel like this forever, like cry and let it out. The next thing that happens is I'm going to do something about it. I'm never going to let anybody tell me that constructive criticism ever again. Because that's the worst thing, right? Is if you give me a piece of constructive criticism, it hurts my feelings, I cry about it, but yet I keep doing that thing that still needs to grow. So what's going to happen? You're going to give me that same piece of criticism again. I'm still going to cry about it. So there's no growth, right? So that's the steps, right? Okay, first, know who you are. Understand who you are. Second, understand how you feel when you get feedback, how you feel when people say things to you, whether it's negative, positive, whatever. Understand who you are. 3, use that information as a stepping stone to do the next thing. Okay? On and on and on this big circle. On and on and on this growth pattern. Because you're never going to stop growing. You're never going to stop being better tomorrow than you were today. Like, that never stops. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when somebody's just doing it to be malicious, when somebody's doing it to hurt you. You know, I remember one time my daughter, she must have been about like 4 or 5. And she came to me crying because somebody had, I forget what it was, but somebody had hurt her feelings. They said something to her and she was crying about it. And I remember telling her, I'm like, you know, if I called you a car, would you be upset? She's like, no. Like, okay, why wouldn't you be upset? She's like, because that's just not true. It's ridiculous. Like, yes, exactly. When they tell you something that is not true, that it is ridiculous, that it is like, that's got nothing to do with me, it doesn't hurt you. When something hurts you, it's because you believe in some deep down part of you that they're right. That something that they're saying is like pinching at that little scar that you had, you know, like when you get like a paper cut and you like squeeze lime and you're just like, ow, like those words you believe hold some truth to you. That these people can, like, if somebody were to be like, hey, Andy, you're purple, like, what? Like, that's just ridiculous. So if somebody says to me, hey, Andy, you're ugly, your muscles are too big. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, it's just equally as ridiculous as calling me purple. But if I feel some type of way about it, if somebody says, hey, Andy, your muscles are too big, and I'm like, oh my God, like there's something in me that has triggered. And that is a call to action. That is a call to examine it. That is a call to be like, hey, why does this bother you? And when people have said that to me, guess what I figured out? Is that I cared about these people because I felt like they were doing better than me and I need their approval. I need them to accept me. I need them, like, I need to feel beautiful to these people because to me, these people are beautiful. And if I'm not beautiful to the beautiful people, then what am I? Like, on and on and on. Like, I did all this self-examination because to me, those words hit something. They didn't make me feel good. They brought a tear to my eye. And yet, I mean, ultimately, they're not true. But why did it bother me? Why? That's the point of this. So yes, you know what? People, it's easy to say, just stop caring. Don't care about those haters and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're right. You know what? Those haters are probably not doing better than you. The people talking smack, they're probably not doing better than you. But it's up to you to figure out why those words hurt. It's up to you to figure out why those words meant something to you. Because you know what? Those are going to be the things that build you up from that pain. For me, anyways, that pain is what's going to propel me to the next level. All those things, negative things that have ever been said to me, those are the things I say to myself when I'm on the treadmill for an hour and a half and I'm like, I want to quit. No, Andy, don't forget that they said this to you. No, Andy, don't. Remember that time that person said this to you? Remember that time they called you this? Remember that time? Like, remember? So you stay on that treadmill and you keep going because that is what you want. So I use all of it to move me forward. You can't let it paralyze you. Negativity has that power to paralyze you, to stop you dead in your tracks, prevent you from being where you want to be and getting what you want. That's the power of negativity. It's ugly. It's real. It's raw. And use appropriately, use in a good way, it can help you. That's how I see it. That's how I see it, because I'm not somebody that, like, I definitely don't need constant praise. I don't need somebody to be, oh, Andy, it's okay. Pat on the back. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. Because then I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like, I've got no reason to keep going, because it's like the positivity for me just doesn't work. It just doesn't. But all that negativity, all that hate, yeah, give me more of it, because it's just going to keep pushing me forward. Okay, everybody, I love you guys. I hope you got something out of this. Let me know what you thought. All right, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I don't know how to sell my podcast. Like, I see people saying that all the time. That's why I have said that. But anyways, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Love you.